Hello, it's Iragis again. It's a bit bright today, that's why I look again like in the mist. But it's not the main thing. I'm here to share some crucial pieces of conclusions which I noticed while living in this world and which, if used, can help you and me and everyone who uses it to be happy rather than being unhappy, which is the default setting of this matrix of this world. If you do nothing, you'll be unhappy. For some reason, it's designed in such way. So this world is full of diplomacy. What I mean about it? What I mean here, that it's just life situation. Someone texts me, someone writes something to me, and he wants a certain behavior from me. So if you expect from people certain behavior, you want them to behave in a certain way, you will end up being disappointed, angry, and you will be deeply unhappy because people will not do what you want them to do. Even if, according to your logic, they have to do what you expect them to, it doesn't change the fact that most likely they will not do it. So when I was a kid, I considered it a dishonesty if I ask a question and the person doesn't answer my question. In my life perception, it was seen as dishonesty, that the person dared to lie, and I was becoming angry very quickly, because I was thinking, why do you lie to me? Why don't you tell what do you think? Why don't you answer my question, my direct question? So it's almost like shaking someone's shoulders and demanding the answer you want. Then in my life, I continued living my life, and I noticed that many people, too many people, don't give those direct answers. You ask them, and they don't feel like they are obliged to answer. Especially, I noticed it in Canada. That's a whole different story. Even when you arrange for something, people can just not show up and then say, sorry, I hope you don't hate me. I arranged making a music video once. Everything was arranged, the cameras, the place. And on the same very day, the person who was supposed to be an actor in my music video didn't show up. And he just wrote me an email, I hope you don't hate me. So it's even worse, right? So people don't do what you want them to do. People respond in the way they choose, and you cannot influence it. Whenever you try to change it, you end up being unhappy. Why people are diplomatic, so to say? Well, different upbringing, lots of learned behaviors, lots of fears. Some people lie, just deliberately lie. Some people enjoy confusing others. And some people just use mean strategies. So-called bad people are using strategies trying to take advantage of you. So the reasons why people don't answer your directly asked questions are various. But if you keep trying to force certain responses on people, you will always end up looking either immature or inadequate or aggressive. In some societies, it is perceived aggressive if you if you demand an answer. For example, in terms of looking for a job, when I lived in Poland, sending resume with good skills, experience, qualifications, ended up almost always with getting some response from HR departments by email. So it's convenient. You send your resume and you receive the answer by email. And then they arrange an interview for you with them via email. You don't need to be stressed out answering the call, because speaking demands more energy than writing. When you speak, you have to take care of your tone of your voice, of a high energy, You have to sweat to make a good conversation, to make it sound happy and energized and memorable. Writing email is much easier. It takes less. Oh my god, so bright. Almost cannot see myself. It's like underwater. Answering email is much easier. So yes, you can send resume in Poland. You can get an answer by email. You can arrange interview date and time by email. In Canada, it's different. If you're not referred by someone who already works in that organization, no one will call you back. And calling is something you wish and desire someone from HR to be so kind to call you. So different rules are obviously applied in Canada. So in different countries, on different continents, there are different rules. It's like different planets. Although people look very similar to eyes, to ears, hands, legs, they have such a different software in their minds. So the place where you were going to kindergarten, to school, defines what you think about life to a very, very high degree. And these methods of communication are different in different countries. But no matter where you live, more or less, you will be considered inadequate if you demand an answer from another person. I'm trying to remember myself when I was a kid, and I desperately wanted others to be as open as I was. I thought that it would have been such a great world if everyone was open and was always saying what they think right away, without hiding, without lying, without being dishonest. Yeah, I'll repeat it. For me, it was interpreted and perceived as dishonesty and being not frank with me. If people didn't answer my questions or avoided them, oh my god, it was driving me mad. But when I was growing up, I noticed that in this world, diplomatic world, most of people are like that. And here, why I'm speaking about it today? Because I received some private messages, certain private messages, just exactly regarding this topic. So, a person introduced himself, and then we exchanged some sentences, some basic information about who is living where and doing what, and he answered, "Thanks, nice to meet you too." Then the next day the person continued writing, "If you don't mind, I'll tell you something." I didn't answer. So it's, "If you don't mind, I'll tell you something." Okay. "And what are you doing job there?" So the person wants to know where I work. Then the person comments my photo by writing "pretty." And then sending question marks. Then becoming impatient. Then writing, "I think you don't want to talk with me." I never met this person in real life. So insisting answers. I repeat, this world is not functioning the way you want it to function. If you don't accept it, if you don't realize it and accept it, you'll be always unhappy and angry. And you will be perceived again as immature, inadequate, or openly aggressive person. In Canada, you will be perceived aggressive if you demand shaking person's shoulder, metaphorical shoulders, and demanding something. Who are you to demand something from me? You're not my family member. And even family members are not allowed to apply pressure on me. Then the person continues, "If you don't want to talk, you can tell me, and I'll try not to message you because I don't want to bother anyone." So it's again demanding. The person whom I don't know demands that I have to answer his messages using the words he wants me to use. It's nonsense. It's can be called childish, can be called aggressive, can be called intimidating in Canada. So I answered him, I will record a live video, which I'm recording now, about it in the next several days, if you don't mind. So I'm trying to keep being respectful and polite. And he answers, what do you want to record a video about? Or I don't see the last word. So what example is it for all of us? Pressure, aggression, childish approach of showing dissatisfaction will never work. They don't work in this world. You will never receive what you want if you don't understand that that's the way the world functions. Most of people realize it when they are children, that something is wrong with this world. People are not saying what they think. People are hiding what they think. People are avoiding answering questions. Yes, people are avoiding answering questions. And they have such right to avoid answering questions. And they have the right to avoid answering you something like, I don't want to talk to you, yes. I want to be given freedom to not answer anything. Again, if you feel, when you hear it, if you feel disagreement and inner resistance, it means that you still hope that you can change this world. You still hope that you can force people to behave the way you want them to behave. No, you will never succeed. I didn't succeed in this. No one did. People have the right to stop answering your questions at whatever moment. That's it. Canada taught me this. The sooner you understand it, the better. Because it will save you unproductive emotions. It will save you anger, which exhausts the energy, which definitely doesn't make you feel that you own the situation. Do you want to be perceived immature? Immature is the lightest impression. Immature, childish, it's like, he's not yet wise enough. It's the most simple interpretation of such behavior. But do you want to be perceived inadequate or aggressive? The photo of this person who kept trying to push me and to get the behaviors and answers he wants, the photo is of an adult man, but he behaves like 8 years old child. Don't do the same. I know it's not easy, but this world isn't easy. In order to be happy, you have to get rid of those habits which exhaust your energy and make you unhappy. Stop expecting from people something which you cannot demand from them. You cannot demand from them the answers you prefer. Full stop. You just cannot. Give up this temptation of thinking that you can force other people tell you what you want to hear. Very simple, yes, but much more difficult to apply it into real life. It's hard to think why a person could, well, being an adult, adults could think that they have power to impose their will on people they don't know. Hard to think why. Maybe all their wishes were fulfilled. Maybe they have, I don't know, rich parents. Maybe they had obedient wife and children. I don't know what guides such behaviors, but it's absolutely inadequate. This world is built on this diplomacy. People have limits. They have to provide the food and shelter to themselves. They have to work. They are set into very strict limits, so they want to be given at least some freedom. They don't want to be told what to do by strangers. There are so many sides to such behavior which can be discussed really for days. The one more aspect of it is that if you give person space, if you really value this person and not trying to repair your ego by pushing certain behaviors you expect. So if you really value this person and you will give space, who knows, maybe the day will come when this person will be bored and will remember that, oh, you didn't get an answer. And the person will answer you one day. But of course, someone behaving in childish way doesn't value the person, but they want the satisfaction of ordering others what to do. I also would like to be a dictator. I also would like to tell people what to do. Everyone dreams of becoming a king and telling others to serve, just to serve them, right? But that's not the world we're living in. If you want to get any response, you have to become wiser, and you have to remember that this world is made of diplomacy. You can call it lies, you can call it pretending. But here we are. That's the essence of it. This world is made of lies and diplomacy. Adjust. Don't push others to do what you want, because not only they will make a conclusion that you are inadequate, but also you will be deeply unhappy. That's a huge topic. It's part of the topic that you shouldn't expect anything from other people. Expecting certain behaviors from other people make you unhappy. But it takes all life to learn it. I better save this video because I have an impression that it's more and more difficult to see anything here. The sun is very bright in Halifax today. Thank you everyone for watching. Make your conclusions.